I can't hear music.
Yeah, I don't know also the music.
No, I don't hear music.
Please put it on that window.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions, we'll get away. This is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out.
Look, everybody's dancing.
I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's go, let's be free with me. Be free.
you want. Give me all of your love, 'cause it's burning hot. It's what you do to me, babe, I can guarantee. Honey, honey, I got what you need. Under the night sky, I want your eyes all on me. Don't tell me lies now, I always get mine. Don't play with me. Do you want it? Can you feel me? Can you handle it? Right? Do you want it? Don't put your love on hold. I can't take it anymore. Put your love on me now. Trust me and you will see. Honey, honey, I got what you want. Honey, honey, I got what you need. Honey, honey, I got what you want. Honey, honey, I got what you need. Give me your love, no holding back, no, no. We could take it to the stars where you wanna go. The things that we can do, don't need to prove you know. Honey, honey, I got what you want. Yeah, under the night sky, I want your eyes all on me. Don't tell me no lies, I always get mine. Don't play with me. So do you want it? Do you want it? Can you feel me? Can you feel me now? Can you handle it? Alright. So do you want it? Don't put your love on hold. I can't take it anymore. Put your love on me now. Trust me and you will see. Honey, honey, I got what you want. Honey, honey, I got what you need. Honey, honey, I got what you want. Honey, honey, I got what you need. So don't put your love on hold. Can you feel me? I can't take it anymore. Don't put your love on me. Trust me and you will see. Honey, honey, I got what you want. Honey, honey, I got what you need.
Hi everyone! Oh my gosh, that was so much fun, and I'm so exhausted. I get what Luria goes through every Friday. 10 minutes of dancing is a lot. How is everyone? How are you doing? As you saw, we have some amazing, beautiful, wonderful, lovely, perfect guests today. We're here to talk about some LETA, which if you don't know, it's live every day in August, y'all. And it is a private, fun group that we have that we run on Facebook, where we just go live every day. Luria, our amazing, wonderful, beautiful Luria, gives us prompts every day that we answer. And the guests we have today, sorry, have gone through LETA, and we're just going to talk about it, and it's going to be super fun. And if you're in chat and you've gone through LETA before too, feel free to chime in and answer some of these questions and stuff with us. But doors are open now, by the way, so if you're not signed up, you can still sign up. We opened the Facebook group up yesterday, so you can just get on in there, but be sure to sign in with that link right down there. So you can get all the fun challenges. But sorry, I should probably also explain what LETA is technically. So LETA is meant to give you confidence on camera. We all struggle with it. Even if you go live all the time and things like that, sometimes it's hard to be ourselves. And LETA promotes being yourself. Not only just being yourself, but embracing that little bad A inside and showing the world and having fun with it on top of it. So LETA is super life-changing and awesome, and I am not exaggerating when I say that. So let's dive in. Want to meet all of our cool guests? Some of you might already know them. We've got Bette. I'm gonna bring Bette up. Bette? Haha! Bette!
Oh,
You want to
hello,
tell the world what it is
everyone.
you do? What is it that you
Um,
do?
I focus on menopause. Actually, my website is Crazy Sexy Menopause, and I talk to women about moving through this amazing transformation and realizing their inner wisdom and their inner badass self.
I love it. That's so awesome. And we need more of that too. Bette rules. And we actually have her link in the description too. So if you need more of Bette, which you will by the end of this, then check her out for sure. We also have Lala. Lala, who loves doing crafts. Tell the world what you do.
Hi everyone. Hi Callie. I actually in my channel do tons of crafting and also do interviews with amazing content creators about relevant topics for moms and moms at heart.
I love it. Lala rules too. She's in the Philippines. So it's like, what time is it there, Lala?
It's 1:03 a.m. Good morning.
Oh my gosh, I'm in bed. I am asleep by then. And we have Kevin too. Kevin is awesome. Kevin, what is it that you do?
So I build robots. I build all the robots. I teach people how
Yes.
to make robots.
What do you use to build
My robot.
them?
So I do all kinds of robots. I'll build them with 3D printers, out of kits and stuff like that. And sometimes people send me stuff and I'll review them. Anything to do with robots. So it's like programming them, building the electronics, and doing all the mechanical stuff as well. All good stuff.
That's so awesome. And Kevin's link is everyone's link's in the description, by the way, but Kevin's link is in there too. And Kevin's been like blowing up lately, so check him out. I know. The robots are fine though, I swear. And we also have Nolan and Jamie. What is it that you
Hello.
Woo!
That is a good question because we keep changing that. But yeah, I guess for what we do together is that we have our own video production company. So we work with a lot of nonprofits and making like documentary style videos for them. And also we help them do virtual events and such. And then I'm also an entertainer of sorts. So I have a podcast and we just started a YouTube game show, and I do live and virtual emceeing as well. So if that's not enough, I can keep making up stuff too.
What do you wish you were doing? That's so awesome. So yeah, we've all gone through LETA and have loved it. So let's talk some LETA stuff. I'm actually super curious because in my own experience coming onto LSP and my very first LETA, everyone talked about how life-changing it was and all this stuff. And I had never done it before or anything. So it's kind of like, yeah. You know, like I get it's going to be fun, I think, or whatever, but we'll see. And turns out, I think it was life-changing. It we don't need to get into my whole thing, but I was curious. What did you not expect from LETA starting into it and then coming out of it? And we can all just talk and doesn't matter.
Shall I go first? I was thinking about this before. So yeah, when I went in, I was thinking about maybe like the technical skills and maybe like lighting and cameras and stuff like that. And I really hadn't thought about things like friendships that you'll make with people. Obviously getting really confident on camera and, you know, the projection of energy that you need to put in there rather than just the sort of deadpan thing that I started my channel with. I look back at some of the videos I did before LETA and I look like I'm just about to, I don't know, get executed or something. It's just really, really bad. There's no energy there. There's no like confidence at all. And I did them live. I did live streams, but yeah, it was really, really, really different. So yeah, definitely about the friendships, definitely about getting the confidence and doing these daily challenges. You know, they seem to be quite random at first, and then, you know, by the second or third week, you're like, I get what's going on here now. This is really making sense. And some of the concepts were quite mind blowing at the time, and I was like, I'm gonna have to think about this. I'm gonna have to go away and have a really good think about this, because I don't know the answer, like who your audience is. So when you're a really small channel, that's a really difficult thing to answer. And things like, you know, what a good content idea would be for your show. You know, so ideas, I was always trying to make the perfect show rather than trying to just be myself. So people will come for the content and then stay for you. That was one of the things I sort of learned from LETA that I really didn't expect. I'll let somebody else go now.
Nolan and Jamie, what was it that you guys, so you two did LETA together.
Yes.
We don't really have many people who do it together, but yeah, so what did you two expect, like going in and coming out?
I'm gonna warn you that Jamie does not like to talk. As if you've done LETA and we've been a part of it, you'll know her plight and struggles with being on camera and talking. And I always have to like preface that, because people think like, let her talk, you're such a jerk. And I'm like, I'm trying to be a good partner and support her. But I'm gonna put her on the spot, because I think that she can best articulate, because she, I think, learned the most and experienced the most, because she had such aversion to doing it and so resistant to getting out of her comfort level. So I thought I'd just let you, I'm going to tell you to talk.
And now everyone's like, you jerk. Don't make her talk.
I can't win with these people. What do you want from me?
But I do remember,
Okay.
I do remember those when you two started out in LETA. Jamie, you were so quiet, and then it did seem like you were breaking out of your shell and stuff more and more.
I didn't expect to have such a physical terror of like once it went on, like my whole body, I feel it right now, like it's starting to panic. But
so if you're watching this and you haven't signed up yet, now you really want to sign up. You sold it.
Yeah. Don't you want that hit of adrenaline?
But I think so. What I didn't expect was that everybody's so supportive and like super, super nice, and I didn't expect that at all, and it really helped me to get over my sweaty, shaky, like wanting to throw up terror. And then like it got so much easier. And then we were doing it every week for our business, and I don't think I could have done that if I hadn't done LETA.
That's so awesome. And Jamie's gone. No, that's really awesome. And there are some things you said that I want to come back to, but Lala, what about you? What kind of things did you not expect and then got out of it?
Okay, in the beginning, actually, I didn't know really why I signed up. I just knew that because I was following. I was really following Luria. I've been wanting to do content creation for the longest of time, but I don't know how to video edit. And so I chanced upon live streaming pros earlier in the year, about January, February. So I binge watched all of LSP's videos. And then one day Luria said, there's LETA. And then I said, anything that Luria will do, I will be in that because it really helped me. From the watching live streaming pros videos, I was able to start live streaming in January of 2021. So by the time LETA came in, I didn't really know exactly what to expect. So the first few days was pretty scary. I will not lie about that. I didn't know how things work, right? So the first 3-4 days, I really don't know what I was doing. I would come in and go out. I would not even read the comments. I would just do the prompts and out, and we'll be out of there. But what eventually, I think it was day 7 for me, my very first LETA. when we had this challenge that everybody, I don't know if we can say what the challenge was, but that challenge was super awesome, guys. That I started watching everybody. At that time, I think there were 500 of us, more than
Yeah,
500
you can
of
say
us.
what it
So,
was. What challenge was it?
oh, it's the most uncomfortable challenge.
Oh.
Remember that one? All right. So for that most uncomfortable challenge, I didn't even know how to use a camera. So I actually danced with my kids, and I didn't know how to, you know. So we were dancing, uploaded the video sideways. So people watched us dancing sideways, right? And that was so much fun. And everybody took that challenge to heart. And from then on, I started to really engage. I didn't know about engagement. Imagine, I've been streaming from January to April by that time, but I really didn't know that there was a concept about engagement. I would just go in my lives and go out. I never bothered looking at the chat or something. So that's one thing I learned about. I didn't expect to learn in LEDA, and of course the awesome friendships. So everybody here has become friends, and even in the chat. So that is such a blessing.
That's so awesome. And I know what you mean. Like, I've met all of you through LETA, I think, really. Like, become friends
Exactly.
with through LETA. What about you, Betty?
Well, my husband actually told me about Lita, and so we joined together. It was his idea. He's like, "Oh, let's do this, Nolan." And so I was like,
Can we turn it back
"Okay,
into a
honey.
plant again?
Okay, honey. Okay, honey. I'll do it. I'll do it." And so we joined together, and then it wasn't even halfway through where he said, "Okay, I don't really see how this is benefiting me, so you continue on." And I'm like, "Oh my God, so it's just me now." But it was really great because I didn't expect to be as vulnerable. I'm not a person who really puts myself or my life out there, and some of the challenges got me to a point where I was sharing things that were really deep within me, and to know that I had that support and that people holding space for me in that environment, it allowed me to be more vulnerable. And so because I'm a newbie in this whole industry, it's given me a little more confidence. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there, and I'm a lot further along than I've ever been, and it really is all because of Lita.
Totally. And like, so I used to hate being on video too. When I first started with live streaming pros, I think we all kind of knew that I was really, really shy on camera, and I was always like, "Her." But I do totally, like with Lita, Betty, like what you were saying, yeah, confidence not all the way there yet, but going live consecutively like that, and in the way that it is in that group specifically, it's so different than just like going live on your own channel, like for example, for 31 days or whatever. It's so different because like Jamie was saying, it being in that like private community and stuff, and knowing that the things that you say and share are going to be respected and kept in that group. Like I shared stuff that, I haven't shared with a lot of people in LETA. But I think that's so important to like extract ourselves from ourselves, you know what I mean? And know that, oh my God, I shared this deep dark secret in front of like hundreds of people, and it felt amazing. So I'm gonna share it to the world. No, I'm just kidding. Don't share your secrets to the world, probably. You could share them in LETA. But it's like, I don't know, all of you here know stuff about me that not many people know, and I think some of that goes the same for you. Yeah? Like, did you, like, something I didn't expect was sharing those deep parts of myself with a bunch of strangers. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
What happens
Yeah.
in LETA?
I think
It's
I
true.
think the
That
reason why it works so well is because it's a safe space, and the
Mhm.
big reasons why we are hesitant to go on camera and live stream and whatnot is because of the fear of judgment and the fear of what others would say in criticism. So when you start off in a safe space like LETA, where instead of criticism and judgment, it's more like encouragement and other people going, yeah, me too, and stuff. It's just like, oh, it helps you get over this this fear and anxiety, so that even though you're
Mhm.
not necessarily on your own live streams to the public talking about these deep dark secrets, it's like I've gone through this motion before, and I know that I'm not going to please everybody, but there are people in the world that resonate with me and connect with me, and that's what you learn to connect with and focus on doing things like LETA, or in the LETA challenges rather. And so I think that's what to me makes the whole experience so beneficial for you and your live streaming journeys.
Yeah, totally. It's a totally different ball game when, like you said, like you're in a safe space with other people saying like me too. Like I found out that so many people also pick their nose and eat their boogers because of LETA. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Nolan, I'm looking at you. No, I'm just kidding. No.
What,
But it is.
what is happening? Why did I agree to be on this thing? This is not a safe space at all.
But we're not in LETA yet.
Yeah, we're not in LETA's. This is the Wild West out here. But it does go like with that uncomfortable challenge that Lala, you had pointed out. That's totally one of my favorites too, and not only because Nolan picked his nose and ate his boogers on camera, but
What is
Twice.
happening? Twice. Oh, great wizard Kathleen, mute her mic now. Mute it.
oh my god. But it is like so what I had done for my uncomfortable challenge was something that I have this like really ugly face that I can make that I only had ever done like to my family and my friends.
Oh.
And so for the uncomfortable challenge, I scared the crap out of myself by like making it scary looking, but by doing the ugly face, which by the way is this. Wait, I'll do it again.
Do it again. Do it again. Oh,
It looks even worse in person. But doing like I never felt comfortable ever doing that on camera, but it was because of that uncomfortable challenge and just like being like, yeah, that makes me uncomfortable. Looking at that face makes me really uncomfortable. So I'm going to make everyone else look at it. And now I do it on camera all the time, and I think it's fun. So it's like turn that uncomfortable challenge, turn this like thing that I thought was funny, but it was embarrassing to me that I could do that. Like I didn't want to show
It's great
anyone.
'cause it kind of works
But-
in two ways, doesn't it? Because it helps you get confident on camera because you're getting out your comfort zone, and everybody's uncomfortable
Right.
at first getting out their comfort zone, but then it builds on that, doesn't it? So the authenticity, you can share your vulnerability in a way that's safe, and then when you do your live stream to like the wide world, you've then still got that vulnerability and that authenticity there, that means that people can connect with you, because the last thing people want to see on camera is somebody who's just like deadpan and really nervous and like probably most people are when they first go on camera. They don't look at the camera, and they'll look down or away from the eye of the camera. So there's so many little things, little steps each day that seem to build on each other, that end up making you a better, more polished YouTuber or live streamer. And the other thing I like is the fact that it's so rapidly together. If you're only doing 3 or 4 minutes per day, but going live over an entire month, if you only went live once every week, that would take you like 30 weeks to get that same experience. And because it's not focused, you wouldn't get that same experience. So for me, it was like a rapid acceleration of learning that I couldn't get any other way. And the fact that it normalized it, because I was in a group of exactly the same people. They were nervous being on camera. They were, not familiar with the technology and how to make it all smoothly flow from one thing to another. That really helped, I think, normalize my own insecurity, my own, nervousness about being on camera at first.
Totally. I think it helps that we all do go in with like that shared experience of like, this sucks. Like, we do not want to do this at all, but we're doing it. So there's already that like shared, like, okay, let's go.
In fact, you've got like Lamb as the little mascot. The live adrenaline monster. You're giving it a name. That was so clever. That really, I couldn't understand that, because when you're going live, you forget stuff. Things that you might put like some little post-it notes to remind you of, what to say on the stream, and then you forget all about it because the energy and the nervousness is there. And I like that you gave that a name and identified it. It kind of took that demon away.
Yeah, totally. We took the demon away, but it looks kind of like a cute demon.
But I
exactly.
also agree with Kevin in terms of that vulnerability, because once you get it out of your system and you shake it off, then there's really nothing left. You're open and you're available and you're eager to engage, and it's a beautiful thing in terms of engaging your audience and having that freedom to be you, because you've already wiped off the cobwebs from from LETA and from participating in LETA. And so I loved it because it helps me to be more comfortable in front of the camera. I don't think I would have been here in this particular space in this particular time had it not been for LETA. I am totally more comfortable on camera since my LETA experience.
That's so awesome. I love hearing this kind of stuff because, like, I don't know. I feel the same way, even though I don't regularly live stream or anything or have a business, but LETA did help me, like, open my own website and stuff too, and realize, like, hey, I think we all struggle with this before, like, going into LETA and stuff, or like experiencing that. We kind of are like, I don't really have anything super valuable to say, or like, I'm not really special or anything. And that always stops us from doing the things that we want to do.
And
It's
normally,
even helped
Callie,
me be
remember
more
when we start, most of us actually, when we started in LEDA, most of us are really beginners or really just wanted to start but really didn't know how. So in LEDA, because sometimes even our families, our friends do not understand, why do you want to live stream? Why do you want to be a content creator, right? So there's nobody really that you can actually resonate with and talk things about, your passion or your desire to live stream. But in LEDA, that is where it's like, I found many Lala, many just like me, right? Who actually wants to do the same things, but are also struggling in a way, though we all have our differences in terms of where we are at our journey. But, we actually resonated with each other. And in LEDA, we were able to really, as Nolan said, encourage each other and support each other in a way that was really authentic. We really felt it. I think there's no LEDA that I really didn't cry. No, I didn't cry because I was sad. I cried because of, tears of joy, tears of happiness that, you found a community that really understands you and does not judge you and supports you in a way that you actually want to be supported. So that's why before the first time I joined LEDA, I kept it to myself. The second time, I told everybody about it. This time, I've been posting and really encouraging everybody. It doesn't have to be that you want to be a live streamer. It really is very useful for whatever it is, whether you're a student, you're a mom, you're a content creator. Being in LEDA is an amazing, wonderful experience.
Totally.
Ag-
Well, you made
Agreed.
like, yeah. And I love what you said too about you can talk to your family and friends and stuff when, because the idea is you want to create some form of content, but no one really totally understands, it seems like. And there is
Mhm.
this little kind of loneliness to people just being like, okay, yeah, go make your little videos or whatever. Like no one really seems to get it still outside of it. So it's so cool when you go into a group of hundreds of people who have the same or a similar mindset as you do with wanting to do it. It just is just one of those other levels of going into something where you can relate to everyone on. It's so
Yes.
cool.
Mhm.
Because
I was
yeah,
gonna
even
say
though
that
Absolutely.
when what else it did for me, because I also host things and MC things, is that it helped me embrace being human. And for the longest time it was like, oh, you got to be picture perfect, have everything prepared, speak
Mhm.
like as if I'm like memorized a wonderful script. But instead what it helped me realize is that it helps you connect with the people, whether you're doing this as a live stream or just in public settings or whatnot. It helps you realize that people actually appreciate that you are a human, that you are flawed, and that you have your unique personality. And so these different activities that we do in LETA help you help normalize those things for you, help feel comfortable with it and embrace it. And I will say that, Callie, that face that you made that you're so embarrassed about is the exact
Cute.
it's the exact same face that I made when you made those slanderous comments about me picking my nose. So what does that say about me? That I'm kidding.
it means you did the LETA uncomfortable challenge right in this live stream.
Yeah. So you're welcome, world.
Actually, I am curious. Did you guys have like your favorite? What was your favorite challenge, if you can remember? I don't want to put anyone on the spot, but I think mine was the uncomfortable one too that Lala said, because everyone gets weird and it's so much fun. Like Nolan.
Yeah, that's the day I don't sleep. I really don't sleep. I have FOMO for that challenge.
FOMO is real, isn't it, with LETA as well?
Oh, it is
After
so
the first 2 or
real.
3 days, you're like, I cannot miss out on anyone's video.
So I thank Marcus for teaching us how to actually get notified.
It's true though. Like August, my whole month is just dedicated to LETA because I don't want to miss anyone's videos. I'm like, okay, gotta go back and watch. I'm like eating and watching people's stuff. I'm like walking my dog and on my phone, like watching people.
And then people are like, did you see that video? What happened in there? You're like, what?
Right. People reverence things that I know. Or they're like, I got this idea for Marcus. And you're like, crap, now I gotta see what Marcus did.
That's
They're
it.
like,
There's
which
so many
one?
ideas that get generated through it as well. Because a lot of the videos you'll start out just being like, wherever you are in the car or something. But then somebody will do one and they're walking down the street. You're like, that's so clever. I didn't think I could do that. So it kind of gives you permission to try things out, doesn't it? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
totally.
think
Yeah,
the one I enjoyed
absolutely.
was there was one where you put together like your show flow, I think it was, and I was like, "Ooh, I'd not thought about this as a thing you could do," and I was all over this. I had like a flip chart thing, and I was doing all kinds of like post-it notes on there. Really enjoyed that one.
That one is awesome too, because it does get you thinking more about that side of your content versus just, okay, I'm gonna hop on and do a little live stream thing and just talk about this topic. Instead, it's like a concentrated thing, and it's a great way, I think, to get you in the flow of things.
Yeah, and
And
there's
it-
some things
when
you might see that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'll be quick. So yeah, I think was it Manny who he would always sort of jump into frame on the live stream, so there'd be like an
Yes!
empty scene and just like jump in, and there was so much energy that came across, and I thought I love that energy. I want that for my channel. So I thought I'll move around more. I'll move my arms around more. I'll be use that distance between me and the camera a lot more. And it looks it feels a bit fake at first when you do this, because you think like, this isn't who I am normally in the street, but the camera sort of steals a bit of that energy. If I just sort of sit here quietly and don't really move, the energy just drains away. But there's some of the exercises in LETA help you get that. I love that. I wouldn't have learned that any other way, I don't think.
Totally. That's so true about like, because I know on camera and stuff, I'm like, bow, 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 which is definitely who I am. But I don't just sit in my living room and go like, bow, bow. Like, well, maybe sometimes. But it's true. The camera totally steals energy. Sorry, Betty.
One of the things that I discovered was actually just totally by coincidence. However, there are no coincidences. When I thought about the title that I was going to create for my LETA video, it got more views when it was more suggestive. And so I thought that was really cool, because now when you are on YouTube and you're thinking about your titles and your thumbnails, it's so important to have something that's going to intrigue your audience to look. And that's what I picked up in LETA. Is the one time that actually there are a couple of times that I wrote a thumbnail that was a little more intriguing. I got more views, and so that was really cool. That was something else. Mm-hmm.
That's so interesting. I never thought about that, but you're so right, because we do have to, in LETA, you write the day and then you write the title of whatever it is.
Right.
And I'm always pretty basic with mine. I never thought about that, though, as that being a good learning point, because it's true. Like, titles are way important.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, one of the other ones I thought was quite good was shaping your community. So when you're becoming more successful, you'll get trolls, you'll get people who are going to be sort of dissing you and trying to distract you on your channel, and how to handle that, because at the beginning you might not have a moderator on your channel. It might just be you going live with people saying things that you want to sort of stop happening, and it's how do you handle that. And there was quite a few different approaches, and I really like the way you can either just ignore them and they might carry on, you might call them out, but then they might feed off that. So do you feed the trolls? How would you handle them? And there was quite a few days, I think, on that one. What else did I have?
Yeah,
there was quite a few little things that I wouldn't even thought. But yeah, building the community. So when you go live, it's very different than like recorded video, because you've got people there. And Lala was saying about engaging with your audience. That can be really distracting if you're trying to deliver content. So how would you do that? Do you break for an engagement? Do you do it as you're talking? Do you just not acknowledge that you're going to you have a live audience and you're just doing this as if it's a pre-recorded one? So all those different things are quite interesting to think about. And I liked in LETA that each day would have something that would focus on specifically live streaming and that how that's different from pre-recorded video. Yeah, really enjoyed them days.
Yeah, I love that. That's so true too. With like the interaction was something that was new to me going in my first LETA, and I wasn't sure how to handle it. So I ended up live streaming for like an hour and a half when I thought I was only going to do like 2 minutes, which don't go in LETA streaming for an hour and a half, everyone. We actually made a rule because I didn't know how to do it. And I kept live streaming for like 2 hours. And everyone's like, okay, we need to put a rule in here. Like, Callie, shut up. But like engagement, it is interesting learning about that. And with LETA, because it's a closed group, you are more likely to get engagement and stuff, because people are we're all addicted to it. So you're bound to get someone. You're bound to get someone going, hi. And the troll thing is interesting too, because so we have a troll challenge, and we also talk about like types of trolls that maybe you wouldn't even think about, which is interesting to me, because I don't know, when I think of trolls, I just think of someone coming in and being mean and just saying mean stuff. But there are other kinds of trolls too. Sammy, No, I'm just kidding. I know he's here. So
Wow. Kelly's got her hit list today. She's just like,
He is in the chat.
No, I'm kidding.
what else can I just, Marcus, you're next.
Yeah. I'm just gonna pick all the nicest people ever. And just be like, Marcus, why do you troll so much? No.
But that's a great point, Callie, that you initially think of trolls as being mean-spirited people, but then there are other types of trolls. And so that was something that I had never given any thought to until it was brought up in LETA. And so now it's like, okay, now I can prepare myself for those types of trolls and recognize them as such. And in addition to the mean-spirited people, I can look for them as well.
Yeah, totally. And I think it's hard to, I mean, in LETA, I will say we don't deal with trolls in LETA because everyone's so freaking nice in there. And the number one rule is respect.
Yes.
So when you're going in there, just know that's the number one rule. Nolan, don't talk. I'm just kidding.
But when you're on here live for everyone to see, all those rules are out the window for Callie.
Luria's not here to keep you safe, Nolan. I am the captain now.
That was the last we heard from Callie.
I know. Before we started this live stream, Luria made the joke that I'd be fired if we didn't laugh at least 5 times. And Nolan pretended to laugh, and I bet you now he's wishing he didn't laugh.
Behind this laughter are tears just streaming down my cheeks. So much pain.
You said about before the show, and that was one of the things. That's one of the days, isn't it? About pre-show warm up. What do people do differently to warm up them? You know, get themselves in the mood, get the energy levels right before the show. That was something I'd never thought of. Totally, you know, I just click record when I'm going live, and yeah, I have totally like a pre-show warm up thing going on with music and so on.
and
caffeine.
What's your pre-show warm up?
We thought he was drinking earlier.
Cheers, Kevin. No, I'm just kidding. This is water.
That's it.
Wait, what is it? Is it your tea you said? Did you say tea?
No.
Oh,
Pepsi.
crap. Did you say tea? Oh, that's Mike.
No, she's
Where
asking
is
what
too
your
tall?
pre-show ritual is.
Yeah.
So my pre-show ritual, I'll put on the music as loud as it will go. I've even bought some new speakers now, so it can be even louder. And it's usually like quite high energy music as well, so that it gets me sort of pumped up and in the mood and full of energy. And I'll move around as well, just possibly dancing to the music as well. Depends if Alex is in the room or not, who's my moderator. My daughter's my moderator for the show. Sometimes she'll sit in this the corner of the room. Sometimes she's like doing that remotely. So it depends if she's here. I might not dance around as much, but we'll have a bit of banter anyway, just to get the energy levels up. And then what I will also do is I will talk to the guests. So I do have a countdown timer. And I know you cover that as well in one of the leader days, whether you should have that or not. So I do have like a 5-minute countdown timer. And I'll be talking to the people and showing them fun things and getting them ready. So when that countdown timer clicks off, I've got the full energy ready to go for the show. So yeah, that's how I do it. What about everybody else?
That's awesome. That's awesome. I know, I was going to ask, do any of you guys have like a pre-show kind of thing you do or whatever? Or even, maybe not even just live streaming, but when you're about to like make a video or any content stuff, you got to hunker down. Do you have
This is
for
my
me, it's,
this is my this is my gym behind me. So I have all my dumbbells and things, and so I get a few pumps in before I begin.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes, it's good.
Betty the baddie.
That's the most beautiful gym I've ever seen.
I know. I was like, that's a gym?
I've got 2 I've got kettlebells, I've got dumbbells, I've got barbells,
Wow.
I've got some of everything. TRX, I've
That's
got a lot of stuff back there.
it looks beautiful in there. That's the kind of gym I
Thank
want to go
you.
to.
Thank you.
It
I'll
looks
just
like a
sign up to
craft
come in and
person.
sit down. Yeah.
What?
Exactly.
Lala, what's your little pre-show? What do you do?
Oh, since I basically have two different kinds of shows, so if it's a talking head or interview, more or less, it's just really just like what Kevin does. It's very similar. So I walk last tech, a few minutes prior, last few tech rehearse or final rehearsal for my guest if I have a guest, and then just final tweak of all the things that needs to be done. And of course I don't have what do you call that? Oh, I forgot. What do you call that one that that goes in front of you? Teleprompter. There you go.
Oh yeah,
See?
I was
All
like,
right, so I
yeah,
don't
I
have a
was spacing.
teleprompter. Exactly. Do you know, guys, that up to now my teleprompter is my nanny who holds a paper like this in front of me. So I would go through, my little bit of a script just to introduce my guest. Basically that's it if for that kind of show, but for my crafty shows I really need to prepare at least half a day because we actually create stuff from beginning to the end. So if a project is going to be a little bit technical, then I have to really prepare for it.
Mhm.
So again, I think preparation really depends on your content.
Yeah, totally. What about you, Nolan and Jamie? Do you guys what do you do before your game show? How do you pump up?
We're usually just freaking out trying to get the camera on.
How does this work?
I was gonna say she's probably gonna say we just freak the F out, and then as the count is like, oh no, 10 seconds. Oh, what button did I
The
push?
camera's on and people can see us.
Yeah. She really learned that lesson about just being her authentic self. Like she just says it to the camera, like, "Oh no, I totally forgot how to do this. Can they hear us?" And it's like, "Oh, the thing's live right now, honey."
Jamie's like, I hate doing this, and everyone hears it. Why do you make me do this, Nolan? Nolan's like, shut up. I'm kidding. Sorry, I'm picking on you so much.
We did learn that we should do some prep,
Yeah.
but we haven't learned the lesson of actually doing prep. We just know that we should do it.
I think that's one of the, I guess I should say this too really quick. For those who have not done LETA, you don't have to worry about the tech, so you don't have to worry about that. You can literally actually it's the first 2 weeks we just go from your phone, so it's you just hit live on your phone.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about my Rodecaster Pro or anything crazy like that, which is nice because then I probably would have never done LETA because I do suck at this kind of tech. I'm not very good at it. I panic.
Yeah, that's a really good point because I that's all I had was my phone when I first started. So yeah, that's really important to me.
It makes such a difference too in LETA anyway, when the whole point is gaining confidence. I will say on my computer, when I first did LETA and I was on my computer, I would make sure does this lighting make my nose look big? How do I look? Do I look okay? But then on the phone, I look horrible in every angle of the phone. So I was like, it doesn't matter. Hi, look at my big ass nose. It didn't, and it totally unleashed this other side of me where I was okay to do this. Because I'm everyone's seen my ugly sides anyway at this point with this phone. You get used no filters and stuff. And at first I was like, crap, everyone's going to see how disgusting I am.
And Callie, by the way, some people I've talked to, I think their worry was, what if I can't do it because I only have this certain time available. I told them, no, it doesn't matter what time you're available. This group is 24/7, 24/31, guys. So you
As you're
can
like
go
drinking
in
coffee,
anytime.
like
Anytime. So
it's
before it's like,
24/7.
yes, I thought I needed to, put on makeup. No, by the time it's like halfway through, I would go in the morning after waking up or before going to bed in my whatever, right? So
Mhm.
it's totally absolutely fine, right? In LEDA, you can
Yeah,
really just be yourself. No need to
Well, if you
prep
totally.
didn't,
yourself, doll up yourself. No, no, don't, no need for those. Promise.
well,
Mhm.
the IG that Callie did with her sitting on the toilet, if that doesn't tell you how fun
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. Just show up. You can do
just
LETA
show
while you're on the
up.
toilet. You can totally
Kelly's
do
always been a
it.
good multitasker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was it? Someone on our team was like, wow, it really looked like you had your pants down. And I was like, yeah, didn't it?
Yes.
How have you not been fired yet, Kelly? I don't understand how you still have a job.
Luria's just busy when I do this stuff. She doesn't know.
There's no Instagram.
When she's around, I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. Now Luria knows. I sent her that little short before I posted it because I was like, is this okay with you? But I was worried about my cuss words because I cussed in it twice. She didn't answer me, so I posted it anyway.
Remember that.
Yeah.
Like
What's
this,
happening?
is this on
Oh
brand?
no! We Beetlejuiced her. She's summoned.
no.
We summoned her.
Everybody,
We
run.
Beetlejuiced.
Everybody quiet.
Everyone. Anyway, like as we were saying. LETA is very fun, and you will learn a lot. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
No,
my
she knows
cheeks are
about
hurting.
that.
Yes. And another thing, Callie, I remember that
Yeah.
going in, one of the things that I really feared, actually on my second or third day, I wanted to quit because I felt that somehow, being not a native English speaker, I know I have a different accent. I talk differently. So I felt that was in a way gonna hamper me from actually doing the challenges in LEDA. But eventually I just learned that people really accept you for who you are, right? So no matter how the way you talk English or whatever with an accent or without one, it doesn't really matter, right? So don't
Yeah.
make that as a reason for not coming into LEDA, because absolutely in LEDA no one would really care. And that eventually I embraced, and now I go live and not thinking about how my English sounds like, how my accent is. I don't even care anymore.
I
There you
love that
go.
you said that, Lala. That's so awesome. And I'm so glad you had that experience because we actually get a lot of people too. And they're, in chat and stuff sometimes saying like, English isn't my first language. Is that okay? And a lot of people coming in around the world being nervous that English is not their first language. And you really don't have anything to worry about. Like you said, Lala, it's everyone embraces you no matter what. And we have people in there from all over the world, literally all over the world, who speak multiple languages. So, I mean, I can really only speak English, so you're ahead of me, Lala. But I love that you said that because, yeah, it doesn't matter if English is not your first language. Like, you will not be excluded or anything. Like, please. And like you
I'm
said
a
too,
walking, breathing, living example. This is my third LEDA, guys. And I super love LEDA.
I know. I'm a LETA fanatic. But it's like, but so actually, Lala, so before LETA and stuff, was that something that you were nervous about doing on your, like, was that something that made you nervous on your live streams? Or was it only going
Y-
into LETA that you were nervous about that?
Most importantly was going into LEDA. When I did my live streams, I basically do bilingual. Most Filipinos actually speak English, but we speak English or sometimes use different, words. Okay, like American and like British English, right? It's a little bit different. So, but then also coming into LEDA, I realized that it doesn't really matter, right? So the most important thing is your content, the message that you want to deliver, because people, you will find your own community. So just be authentic, be yourself. If that is the way you do things, that's the way you talk. If you're more comfortable doing your show in a bilingual way, then go ahead and do it. If you're more comfortable using your own, vernacular language, then go for that. Right? So it's something that I eventually realized that I should just embrace, because I was always overthinking things. Do I do this in English? Do I do this in Filipino? Can I just do both, right? So if now it's like I transition from when I have a show and everybody in the chat is Filipinos, all right, so I speak Filipino, and when somebody comes in who is like from a different country, and so I now speak both. Right? So again, it has to be, you have to be authentic. Anyway, our show is really not for everybody, right? So there is really a certain community or people that we want to cater to, and that is
Yeah.
eventually something that really started to sink in with me because I joined LEDA.
That's awesome. Actually, one of the points you brought up made me think of something I was curious about for all of you to answer this actually. After LETA, did you have some kind of mindset shift as to who you wanted your audience to be? Does that make sense?
Yes. I'll go first.
And in
So
what way? Yeah.
yeah, I thought that I had to appeal to as wide a base as possible. And that affected like the level of detail I would go into, the kind of content topics I would pick, and really kind of washed it out and made it not very good content. And one of the things that LEDA was saying is like, the cliche is niche down, but it's more specific than that, isn't it? It's like, what does your perfect audience member want to get from this show? And I was like, right. So it's like a value. I need to deliver some value in this show to make it worth their while, hanging around and watching me for half an hour. And that made a mind shift in, it's not just about like showing somebody how to do something. It's more than that. It's like, what value do they want to get from this? And I was thinking, how can I cram in the right amount of detail? And knowing who my perfect audience members are, the sort of personas of all the different people that might watch, that was a really good exercise that we did in LEDA in one of the early weeks, like knowing your audience and what they would look like and who you would like them to be. Because it might be that the audience that you have is not the audience that you want to end up with. And how do you sort of transition to that? So that was one of the big mind shifts I think I went through. I'm sure there was a few other things. I'll come back to them when I remember them. But yeah, that was the big one, I think, for me. Just like, who the audience is, and the value exchange, and really just creating this for this audience member that might not exist, but I would like them to. Yeah, and I'm an introvert. I'm
That's
not an
awesome.
extrovert at all. So if I can do this, and I'm really like inward thinking, I overthink everything. I'm really nervous person. I don't even like answering the phone to people I don't know. So the idea of going live to potentially millions of people, and then exactly, Jamie. So the idea of going live to people or fielding questions that you don't know what people are going to ask on a stream, that's quite intimidating at first. But when you go into LEDA and you realize everyone is the same, everyone has that same kind of nervousness and experience and is shy at first and isn't great on camera at first. That's something that everyone, it's a real leveler. So yeah. So for me, it's about, knowing the audience and figuring that out, and not just doing it for the views and the books.
I love that, because that's true. Like that is how you end up when you stop trying to talk to everyone and talk to a specific person, it makes such a difference. And in your attitude towards your own content too, I think. But yeah. What about you, Betty?
When I first started, my area is menopause, and I speak about menopause from the not from the medical perspective, but from the lifestyle perspective. And in the beginning, I wanted to speak to all women. I wanted to speak to women that were in their 30s who hadn't, aren't even thinking about menopause, and also postmenopausal women. But then through learning more about my industry and talking to people and doing the videos, I realized that if there's no way that I can reach all of those people, all of those women within one video, because I would just tune out so many people. And now I understand that if I'm speaking to one person, the perimenopausal woman, then I might have outliers who are people who are preparing for it. And then there are women who have already gone through it. There's something that everyone can learn, but I'm just speaking to that one specific group of women who are going through it right now. And that has been monumental for me in terms of crafting my content and what it is that I'm going to talk about and how I'm going to discuss it. And so that was really huge for me because there's a wide spectrum on menopause, and even I wanted to reach the men, because men need to know about menopause, because you've got a wife or a girlfriend and you need to know, so and that's typically the response that I would get, and that's exactly why you need to know. So I know that I can be specific about those specific topics, and not have that as being something that is just, okay, I've got to address this all the time. So and I've my producer, my husband, has really helped me to hone down my message. And so that testosterone or male energy is really helpful in helping me to see that and to stay on task. So men do have a voice in the menopause, but they have to know. They have to know and understand what the woman is going through before they can know how to insert themselves. And so that's something that I've learned.
I love that. Take notes, Nolan.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, thanks, Betty, for telling me that I have a voice, but I know better than to use that voice. So yes, I have it, but I know to not use it.
You have to know when to use that voice. That's the
Which
thing.
is not there. That's when. I can say this all I want now.
Let me just say, it takes a strong man to know that. And I know because I got married at 65. So I was postmenopausal when I got married. So it takes a strong man to know when to speak.
Yeah. Mike Zan in the chat said, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
I've heard happy spouse, happy house.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing can make her happy. So
I heard
she's very happy. Look at her. That's the face
I heard
of happiness.
Nolan owes Jamie ice cream.
Yes.
You heard correct.
Yeah.
I hear that
And a
at
car.
least twice a day.
Yeah. What about you though, Nolan and Jamie? So after after LETA, was there any kind of shift and you were like, wait, I need to be talking to this kind of these people or something? I worded that really well. After LETA, were you like, I'm going to go over here? And you owed her double ice cream.
She doesn't have anything to say. So that's been something that she actually was trying to teach me that, like, from day one, that I had, a problem with that, where I just wanted to get, everyone and anyone. And she would constantly remind me that if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. And that my message or my voice was just so watered down because I was just speaking in general terms and stuff. So when doing LETA, not that I didn't listen to her, but doing LETA, actually having specific activities to, remind me and also to help me craft those skills was so important, because instead of it just her being constantly like, hey, what did I keep telling you? It's like, hey, I actually got to do things and activities and exercises to build those muscles to make it just like second nature, where before it was just constantly like, oh yeah, sorry, you told me to do that. I forgot. Let me figure it out, So that's what LETA really helped with, for sure.
Do you think part of that is because in LETA you're not worried about views or anything, so you're not worried about talking to the masses, and you are just like talking, you know what I mean? And you are just kind of like honed in on the topic or whatever, and so it helps?
It could be that for some, but for me, what it was is that the activities or assignments were so fine-tuned that I couldn't, not keep that in mind. It almost was just like it was built into the assignments. So it actually just helped make the connection clear, because I got to actually do, and then I realized, like, oh, look at the, interactions and engagement that I got because of that, versus before it's like just this kind of like, wistful thinking of like, oh, don't forget, you got to have a, fine tune your audience. I'm like, okay, yeah, let me do that. But with LETA, it was like, no, here's actually what you got to do. I'm like, oh, okay, it makes sense now.
Yeah, that does make sense. That's so cool, the list. I love it. Lala, what about you?
All right, coming into LEDA, the very first time, I really didn't realize that I should actually have an avatar. Right? My avatar was like somebody, I thought, okay, me. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to put out. No, not even thinking about what the people actually wants to see, right? So it's all about me, 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 right? Because in the beginning, I really didn't know what I was doing. I was like doing darts. Oh, maybe this one will do. This one, this one, this one, right? So eventually in LEDA, I learned that there should be like an avatar at least, right? To guide you. Of course, in the beginning, most of us don't really have a clear set, right, a clear mindset yet about who do we really want to. Maybe it's not really clear in the beginning, but as you continue, and I think that's what another thing that LEDA taught me, consistency, right? Being in, practice, going live for 31 days, right? So it's somehow jump started my consistency as well. So from after LEDA, I've been very, very, very consistent, guys. I think I have not missed a stream, I mean, a scheduled stream of mine, whether for whatever, unless there's really no electricity, but that doesn't happen, right? So I've been very consistent. And that consistency eventually has helped me tweak. I eventually learned that, I said I want crafting just a little bit, but I learned that it's really the crafting community is, very supportive, and it's something that I am really somehow passionate about. So no matter what, for example, not feeling well, I don't have anything prepared, I can go live still, because it's something like, okay, what do I have here? Okay, I'll do this. Right? So whether I have a guest, I don't have a guest, I can still be consistent and still go out and do my live stream, and that has paid off. That has paid off immensely. Now I have sponsors in my show. I have
Ooh.
other crafters, not just crafters, but artists have actually also found my little channel and has started to collaborate as well with us. So I think by being consistent, eventually you'll be able to tweak uh whatever it is that you've started, because it's really it's very there are very few who really wants to or really already knows what they want to do, right? But for me,
Yeah.
it wasn't really like that. I just wanted to go live, check it out, but exactly what I'm gonna do, I don't know. This is what I can do, but I don't know if this is what's gonna be, right? So just
Yeah.
go live, be consistent, and that's one thing I learned also in LETA.
That's so awesome.
So I thank you. I thank you.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. I actually didn't even realize we've gone over time. I'm sorry. was trying to be
3:07.
conscious of your time, everyone. But this has been so much fun. And thank you so much for coming on here and talking about the awesomeness that is you. Before we go, though, really quick, I also want to one more chance where we can go round table and tell everyone what you do and where to find you. So, not someone go first.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Or all at the same
One thing
time.
Sleep has given me is confidence to go forward. So yes, so you can catch me on YouTube. You go to youtube.com/Kevin McAleer 28. You'll find my channel there, and I build robots, do programming, and it's really fun. We have a really great time, and I go live every single Sunday at 7 p.m. GMT. So check out if that sounds something interesting to you.
Heck yeah, that
Next.
interests me. Robots? Whoever's not interested in
Yes.
robots, they're not here. Everyone loves robots.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
You didn't know, but Callie is actually a robot. So
Yeah, because I'm so perfect. That's what Nolan means, because I'm so perfect. Only a robot could do this.
yeah.
Only a human picks their nose and eats their boogers, Nolan.
Thank goodness nobody thinks that I do that. You know what the sad thing is that I'm gonna put our kids on blast. Our kids do that, and it's the grossest thing ever. They always like have this gag reflex.
Oh
whenever
no!
that happens.
I hope your kids are
And
asleep.
now you've turned it on me. So
I
if
heard
the
it's
kids are
genetic,
upset,
Nolan.
It's your own fault because you did it to yourselves.
It's genetic.
Well, they're her kids, not mine. So, joke's on you, Callie.
I mean, it's learned behavior.
Moving the goalpost.
What about you
Well,
guys?
with that,
Nolan
I'll
and
just go
Jay?
ahead and take over then, since we're already hogging this spot. So if you're joining us late and you didn't hear, we just do a whole bunch of random stuff, and so to say what we do would take forever, and we're crazy, and that's not something that we suggest that you do. So if you are, for whatever weird reason, are interested in finding about anything that we do, just go to my website, nolanhong.com, and everything we do is on there. So we'll just leave it at that.
Don't go if you don't like boogers.
Sadly, we've lost followers from being on here than gained any, so this did not work out well for us at all.
Don't ever tell us. Those spread rumors that are true.
Speaking of different types of trolls, we also have live trolls too that invite you on their show just for the sole purpose of tearing your heart out and stomping on the ground, besmirching your good name.
Yeah, that's the next level troll. That's not me though, so be careful of those trolls. Nolan probably does that stuff to people all the time on his stuff.
Like, we've got trolls, and then we've got Callie level trolls. So sign up for LETA right now.
Yeah. Don't you want to be part of the fun?
It's a safe
Anyway.
space.
Yeah.
People are like, okay, how much did they pay Bette to say that? Bette, where can we all find you?
Oh my
outside
gosh.
of the
Oh, now I
same
have to
space?
follow that.
Good luck, Betty.
Okay, well, I'm new. I'm so very new. I would love it if you would go to my, follow the link and sign on to my, or subscribe to my channel so I can be seeing Crazy Sexy Menopause on YouTube. I need help. I need help.
No, I love
So
it.
I just launched my site, so on my channel. So if you could help me out and so I can get my numbers up, that would be awesome. Men too. It doesn't matter.
Can't spell menopause without men.
That's right.
Oh, that's
right.
great.
Yeah.
That's
So get in
right.
there.
Crazy sexy menopause.
I love it. Lala, where can we all find you?
Hi, all right. I'm actually Mommy Guide Inc. Everybody calls me Mommy Lala. And I do crafty nights every Wednesdays and Saturdays, 8 p.m. Philippine time. And I do interviews with amazing content creators for topics that resonate with moms and moms at heart, Thursdays or Saturday nights. Sunday nights. Okay, that's it. Mommy Guide Inc. Thank you, Callie.
I love it. Of course. And thanks again so much, y'all, for coming on here. If you're not signed up for LETA, the doors are open now, so you can sign up at livestreamingpros.com/LETA. And the doors do close, so they're not open all the time. They close on August 6th, so get your butts in there.
Join.
Yeah. So then next time you guys can come on the show. Nolan's like,
Yeah, because it's so fun and like, it's just gonna do wonders for your life.
oh my gosh. Well, I don't want to take any more of your time, but this has been so much fun. Thanks again, you guys.
Thank
Are
you.
you ready to
so much.
dance this
Great.
baby out?
Sure.
Yeah?